All right, gang, welcome back to our Broke to Billionaire challenge on Ohio Richlands, which is really now the Broke to $100 million challenge. Anyway, welcome back. It's been a bit. I've been out of the country. I've caught something, or I've just got the typical thing you get when you are on a plane for a long time and dry throat and nose and everything. So I apologize ahead of time, but I literally just got back last night, recording this the next day, and yeah, we're on our way here in January. Now today, there's actually not a ton to do today. We got to do some spraying, as I'm actively doing here, obviously. We don't really have anything to harvest. Could buy another field. We could buy this field that we sold next to us. It's ready to harvest. So we could buy that and harvest it and sell it back. But it is January. It's a big day for us to sell stuff. We've got a lot of things to sell. I actually went ahead and upgraded. Well, I upgraded. I guess I did upgrade. I sold one of our trailers that we had, the one that had the least amount of storage, and bought a new one that's super unrealistic, even more unrealistic than the ones we have already. So it should help us tremendously, since today we're going to be doing a lot of that selling. And that way I don't have to make so many trips. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. As far as my trip goes, I kind of talked about it. Well, I guess in yesterday's episode, I guess for you now at this point. In the 100 Horsepower Challenge series, I kind of talked about it a little bit, so maybe go back and check that series out if you have yet to do so. But briefly, I'll talk about it here as well. It was fun. It wasn't exactly all we thought it was going to be, unfortunately, but we still had a lot of fun. The touristy stuff was a lot of fun. The car stuff was fun, to the exception of Ferrari. I feel like I could have just skipped that one completely. You really didn't get a whole lot with a Ferrari, unfortunately. And yeah, it was good. It was fun. It's just the food and the wine and what everybody has told us how it was all amazing, and you're never going to be able to eat Italian back here again. That wasn't how it was for us. And we tried multiple locations, right? We tried, touristy locations. We tried locations that were off the beaten path, way down an alleyway. Those tended to be the best ones we found, the ones that were down an alleyway, way off the beaten path. But yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know what to tell you. It did not meet our expectations, I guess. Maybe our expectations were too high from what everybody else had told us, but we both agreed that we had better or exactly the same level of food here in America. So. And the wine, I mean, we tried a couple expensive bottles. Well, I say expensive bottles. They're not that expensive. Expensive for us, because we normally buy, $15 bottle, $20 bottle, whatever one of the cheapest bottles is. It's not a twist off, because we drink red wine. So whatever that is, that's typically what we'll get around here. And we found one here that, on average, it's about $12 because it's on sale normally. I think normally it's a $15 or $20 bottle, but that's what we typically drink. And we both agreed that bottle was better than anything we had the entire trip. So I don't know. Maybe the people that were telling us this, because there's a lot of people that told us this, maybe they just don't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it without being an a-hole. But maybe they just don't have as big of a palate of things, I guess, as we do. I don't know. Now the Italian stuff, the food, I will admit that at least around here where I live, I don't think I could find anything specifically that good. But if I hop on over to Vegas or Atlantic City or anywhere, that's got a little bit more of a higher class meal, I've had better Italian there, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. If you only stayed around here where I live at, and you really haven't been to Vegas or anywhere else that may have, kind of a reputation for having very good food, then maybe it is the best food that you've ever had. But it just wasn't. It wasn't there for us. The cities themselves were not exactly what we were expecting either. They were very busy. A lot of people were not that friendly. Some people were friendly. I shouldn't say it was everybody. It wasn't everybody. Some people were very friendly, but it's just a different way of life over there. A very much a different way of life. If you're trying to get on a bus, we were waiting in line like you would around here, trying to be polite and go in order. And when that bus gets here, the line is no longer existent. People are just running over everybody just to get on the bus. So we almost missed our flight because we couldn't get on the bus, even though we were there before everybody else. I mean, they're just rude. Rude people. It really turned me off to Italy with how rude some of the people were. They just run into you. They don't say anything. They don't apologize. Nothing. It's just it wasn't for me, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But I don't want to say that if you're considering going and never been. I don't want to say that to deter you from going. You should go. All the touristy stuff, like I said, was really cool. It was awesome. The architecture, the history was great. The Vatican was awesome. Sistine Chapel, awesome. Colosseum was my favorite thing. My wife loved the Vatican and the Sistine Chapel more, but I loved the Colosseum. I could spend all day there. So, I mean, there's some really cool stuff to go see. The island of Capri, I would absolutely go there if you can. Go to the island of Capri. That was my favorite part of the entire trip. And we just kind of did a day trip there. We were expecting to only be there about a half a day. We ended up staying the whole day because we enjoyed it so much. And I think a lot of it had to do with where we started out. So we started in Naples, and Naples to me was awful. Absolutely, I hated it. There was no rhyme or reason on rules of any sort on the road. People were just driving across each other. It was madness. I don't even know how to describe it to you in a way that would make it, so you could understand it. But maybe if you've been to Naples before, or maybe you're in that area and you know what I'm talking about, maybe you can make a comment down below. But Naples, I will never go to again. Rome was a little bit better. It kept getting a little bit better as we moved along. By the time we got to Venice, we were just kind of done with the trip. I think we took too long of a trip. We were there for 14 days. It's a long vacation. That's the longest vacation that both of us had ever taken together. So I think we were kind of annoyed with each other as well at that point. And I don't think it was really specifically that we were annoyed with each other. I think as we were just so done with the whole trip and everything that kind of occurred and went through. We went through that. We were just kind of getting on each other's nerves, if that makes any sense. Which you would, right? I mean, at current now, we work, right? We go to work. We don't see each other every day, all day long for 14 days straight in a row. So, yeah, it just was it was time to come home. So, I don't think I've ever said that I was ready to come home and go to work, but I was. So much so that as soon as I got home, we got home at like 11-ish. Actually home. We landed before that, but actually home in the house at like 11. Which that would have been, 5 in the morning in Italy at that point? Yeah, so like our clocks are still all screwed up and everything's crazy. But I worked the next day. So, yeah, didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I worked the next day. So, is what it is. So anyway, there's a little bit of a high level. I talked about it a lot more in detail on the 100 horsepower challenge episode yesterday. So check that out if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the trip. Yeah. So we're almost done here with the herbicide of this field, and then I'll kind of give you a little ballpark idea of what else we have to do here today. I've got some things on auto selling right now, which have not been until this point. January is typically, as you know, for a lot of things, the best time to sell stuff. So the pasta that we've been holding on to, we sold some of it, but the pasta we've been holding on to, it's all on selling. So we're going to make, hopefully, a good chunk of money when 9 o'clock hits. So it's going to be a bit because we have it on one time, but nevertheless. Okay, so this is done. We've got to do a second application of fertilizer on here, here, and here. So it's a lot. And actually there, too. No, that one needs to be sprayed, too. Okay, so we'll go over there and we'll spray that one right now. But basically, it's just a whole lot of spraying is what we have to do today. A lot of this I'm probably going to put on a worker. I'm really thinking, I talked about it already, I'm really thinking of buying this field here and harvesting it quickly, because why not? There are other fields down here to harvest, but really it's nothing that I want to do. This one's a cotton field, and it's not the best for a worker. This field specifically, it's not the best setup. It's a very awkwardly shaped field. So I don't really want to attempt that one, I don't think. And there's really nothing else except for this small one, which we've done in the past, to really harvest. This is more cotton. I could do that one, I guess, but it's far away. So maybe. And then this one here. But it just depends on if we decide to do more than one episode in January, right? So we'll have to see. But nonetheless, let's do a quick save here. Let's fold this up so we can get around this post. And we need to drive back there and get the herbicide going here. I don't think I left any stumps here. I think we're okay to drive. Oh, I lied. Oh boy. Well, how bad? How far along is that one? I should be able to drive across it. I should be able to. Yeah, we're good. All right. So, we'll get back here to that field way far in the back so we can get the herbicide going. I probably should have topped this up on the way there, but that's all right. We'll see how it goes. I haven't done anything with this yet because I said I was just going to combine it with this section here. Maybe I should have put something in it just to make a little bit of money for us, but I didn't, so oh well. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully I get over this little nasally cold-like symptom thing I'm dealing with here. I don't sound that great, I don't think, on microphone, but hopefully you'll bear with that. Normally when I get off a plane, if it's a long flight, which this obviously was, I normally get this for like a day or two, but it's, you know, I don't know. It just feels like it might not be just a day or two type of situation. It feels like it might be actually a full-on cold or something that I've caught. I don't know. While we were in Italy, my wife ended up getting sick for like a day and a half. I did as well, but that was like earlier-ish in the actual trip. I think it's just some of the food and the water and things we might have been drinking. We're not used to it, I guess. Our system, our body was not used to it, so it was reacting a little bit differently, which we were told that could occur, and so. But otherwise, we really didn't have any major, you know, issues with any of the food or the water. Just a kind of a one and a half day one-off situation there where something just didn't set right with us, but otherwise it was fine. So I guess take it with a grain of salt, right? Try to drink bottled water whenever you can. Now, I had planned on buying some kind of like souvenir or something. I didn't even buy anything for a souvenir for myself. I didn't buy anything. Nothing. Not because I didn't want to. I just didn't. So some of the prices and stuff, like I was trying to haggle. So some of you know this, maybe. I would assume you do. I'm sure I've talked about it on this series. If I haven't, I know I've talked about it probably in another one at some point. I like haggling. I like going to flea markets and doing stuff like that. I don't know. It's just fun. I've always grown up doing it with my uncle, and so my uncle's actually one of them passed away, but my other uncle that is still alive, I like doing it. It's fun, it's enjoyable. I just buy stuff and then resell it. You know, I don't know why. There's something fun about it. So there was a location in Florence. I guess Florence is the leather capital of Italy, and there's like it's like a bazaar market, whatever you want to call it. With a bunch of people selling leather, and so I was trying to work to get a new like duffel bag basically from there. I thought that'd be a cool thing to take home, but their prices were way too high. But it was funny though, is because I asked him how much, and he said 250 euros, 250. And I said, okay, all right. I said, well, I'm going to think about it, because we were going to go do a wine tasting. I said, I'll think about it. And he said, whoa, hold on, wait a minute, which is what you typically get at the flea market, right? And he goes, well, how about 200? And I'm like, I said, I'm going to come back. I said, I'm going to come back because I'm going to do a wine tasting with my wife. I'm going to come back, and we'll talk about it then. Well, how about 150? So he dropped it 100 before I even had stepped away. And then when I was walking away, he's like, well, just tell me what you think you could pay for it. So I never ended up going back. Maybe I should have. I was more, inclined to pay, because I don't think it was like full leather. This isn't like one of the stores. This is just like a market, right? So it's, you know, faux leather, basically, which I'm fine with. I don't need real leather. But I was going to be like, how about $50? And he was probably going to be like, what? So anyway, I didn't do it, is what I guess what I'm going to try to get at. I have seen those exact bags, not the exact color, but those exact bags on eBay for used, selling for $100, $125. So I mean, realistically, I probably could have got them around to that price, but I mean, I wanted to buy it, but I really didn't want to spend that money, so I didn't. So why am I telling you that? I don't know. A funny story, I guess. Alright, so let me get back around here to the end, and we'll put this on a worker, and then we're going to flip to starting to sell stuff. I'll show you the new trailer we got, which is fantastic. It holds so much. I don't think we're ever going to have to utilize another trailer again because of that one. Well, obviously we're going to have to, because we're going to be doing, you know, multiple things at once where we'll need multiple trailers being utilized. But whenever it comes to selling stuff, right, if we're going to actually load something up into a trailer and go sell it, instead of making like 5 trips to go sell things across the map, we should be able to fill up everything we have in one trip. Unless, obviously, we have an absolute boatload of crop in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second, once we get up here to the end and I get this flipped around. It's also the time of this recording, a couple days away from Halloween. So if you're celebrating Halloween and you enjoy Halloween, happy Halloween. I love celebrating Halloween. I'm not doing anything this year. I'm very upset about it. But that's just because of the trip, right? I might, you know, the day of Halloween or day before, whatever, I might go out there and throw a few things out there, a couple lights and maybe a couple things I can hang that'll take a few seconds, but I won't be doing my normal setup. So I'm a kind of a big Halloween guy, and what I typically do is every year I will go to the Halloween store the day after Halloween, right? On the second day after Halloween, whatever. And I'll buy stuff that are on clearance, and I just add that to my collection to build up for the next year. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the new trailer we got. Let me get out of the tractor here. The NL1622. Nope. That's the never mind. It's the Lizard Titan trailer. Excuse me, not the NL1622. That's the silos. Anyway, this thing holds an absolute enormous amount. Just to give you a ballpark of what I'm talking about, 5,000 M3s, 200 M3s, 20 M3s. So the XL we had with 200 M3s, which is the biggest one we've had, this blows that out of the water. So we're gonna sell stuff now. I think, yeah, all we have is this stuff here, right? So let's put the barley in there for now. I'm not going to sell all of the wheat. We need it for, you know, the chickens, right? Obviously, but it is the best time to sell all this stuff. So also, the pasta, like I said, is also going to be sold, right? So we've got potato pasta, and then we've got fresh pasta. Obviously, that's a lot of money we're going to make from these. A lot of money, right? 4,000, almost 5,000. That's a lot of money here, gang. So when that 10 o'clock hits, or 9 o'clock hits, excuse me, we are going to make a ton of money. Hopefully, well above the 5 million. Hopefully, well above that. So this looks like it might take a minute. So let's get this loaded up, and then we'll see where we're going to sell the barley at here. I don't know where it's best to sell it at. It looks like I'm going to sell it at the Sell Everything container, because it's only a $2 difference. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's unload this. Make us some money, baby. It's only 2% full and it has 145,000 liters in there. All right, 283 grand. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. I mean, well, I feel like that is great for barley, actually, but you get what I mean. So, also, I forgot to say it. I sold the little cover we had here. I just decided to get rid of it. I mean, at this point, there's no reason to even have the cover because we've got the header all the way over there out in the open anyway, so there's no point. So I just decided to sell it. Maybe I'll do something different over in that area here coming up. I don't know. We're going to be running this series and the 100 horsepower series kind of until FS25 comes out. So we're going to be running this for a while. Well, my initial intention here is, I said this in yesterday's 100 horsepower series, but my intention is to alternate these series moving to that point. It may not always be that way. There may be some days where it's 2 100 horsepower challenges in a row or 2 of these in a row, whatever. But my initial goal here is to try to just alternate these every other day, one on, one off situation, until we get to that point. So what that means is that we are going to blow the goal for the 100 horsepower challenge out of the water. And this one, we're going to get a lot more in than you might have expected about a month and a half ago, right? So we're going to get a lot closer to hitting or breaking that 100 million than what you might have initially thought, I guess. So the stuff out of here, we're probably going to hit 5 million here, pretty close. With the wood chips, if you had the wood chips in. I'm going to leave the wheat. We'll take the sorghum out. I think that's the only other thing left in there. Well, we have the potatoes, but that's in the other silo, as long as with the wood chips as well. But we're going to sell the wood chips. Potatoes I'm going to keep for now, just because we're utilizing those in the silage, the BGA stuff, right? So we'll keep those for now. Actually, when I sold that oat, I didn't really look to see if the oat was best at everything to container or not. It wasn't, but it's really not that bad, so I'm not that concerned. The sorghum, it is better. No, that's the trigger, the grain mill trigger. We don't want to sell it. We're not taking it there. That's not really a selling point specifically. Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's only, $20 off, so we'll just take it to here so we don't have to, drive it as far. Saves us a little bit of time as well, right? So. All right. So, it's kind of in the way, but I'm going to leave that right there for right now. We've got this trailer in the way of the other silo here, so let's just fill it up with wood chips. I don't know if it's going to be completely full or not, but it might. If it is, at least that way we have a way to move this out of the way, right? Alright, so it almost got all of it. It's not every bit of it, but it's almost. So we'll just use the same trailer and fill it back up, because it's not going to be a full one again, so... this is going to make us a lot of money right here. These wood chips are going to make us a ton of money. This is going to put us way above the 5 million mark. Nice. 331,833 bucks. Very nice. So, quick save. What I think we're going to do here is we are going to let the worker keep doing what they're doing. I don't know where they're at, the workers on the other field, but whatever. There's a few little spots we're going to have to touch up, but not terrible, I guess. So, we need to do the fertilizing now. So we've got to fertilize this field, this field, this field, this field, and this. There's a lot of fields to fertilize, if I'm honest here. I feel like this one was too far along, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, we've got a lot of fertilizer to do. Did I not fertilize the grass field a second time? Well, I won't be able to fertilize that now, I don't think. Shit, maybe I didn't. Shit. Well, I guess we've got a lot of fertilizer to do, I guess is what I should get at. Now, I think what we're going to do here, let me find it, if I can find it. Let's put this on storing for now, because we're going to utilize that solid fertilizer for now, even though I'd like to make the money off of it. We're going to need it. I want to upgrade... our fertilizer spreader today as well. I know we're kind of going slightly backwards by continuing to upgrade stuff, but we need a bigger one. Plainly put, we need a bigger one. I don't know which one I'm going to get, but we need a bigger one. So, all right, nice. $5,371,605 is what we currently own. Lots of money. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me put this over here out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing with this trailer now. Now, the other option we have, which I've talked about, I don't know, it's been a bit, is to buy the one field that has wood on it, has trees on it. And we could do some more wood chips. Since the wood chips are going to make us a lot of money today. That's kind of the other way that I was leaning, right? So I said, early on here in this episode, I said maybe we buy this field and harvest it. But this field here has a lot of wood on it. A lot of wood. This one too, we could buy that one, which really doesn't have anything except for wood and has a couple little storage areas, but nevertheless, we could buy that one. I think we're going to buy this. Even if we don't do all the woodworking stuff in this episode, maybe we do it in the second one. This gives us something else to do in another... you know what? Let's wait for 5 more minutes before I buy it. Let's wait for 5 more minutes so we actually see how much money we make off of everything that we have on selling here. Because I turned pretty much everything on to selling at this point, gang. So let's leave that there for right now. I'm gonna leave this right here. Kind of in the way, but I'm gonna leave that right there for now. Here we go. These workers, man, I'm telling you. So let's touch this up. Perfect. Not wasting so much now. And there's a little bit up here that we're going to touch up, and then we're going to take this back to the farm, to the barn, put this away. And then we are going to utilize whatever fertilizer we have in our current fertilizer spreader, and then we're going to upgrade that thing. It's time. It's time. Good thing is I did not need to touch up the herbicide liquid here. We had enough, which is good. Alright, let's fold this thing up. We'll head back. Alright, got that put away. I've got this one out. We're going to spread some fertilizer here. I think I screwed up here because this looks like it's too far along. So I must have messed that up. I mean... yeah, that's killing it. So I messed that up there, gang, so I apologize. We just, we're not going to get the full fertilization out of that field. So that sucks. That's on me. I'll take full responsibility and blame for that one. Somehow I missed that. Okay, we actually didn't go up as high as I thought we were going to go up. Dang. Really? Really? That's it? Yeah, there's nothing. Well, no, that's not the wrong one. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Really? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Huh. I thought there was going to be a lot more money than that. I mean, we're at 5.5 million, so I guess I shouldn't really complain, but man, I thought there was going to be a lot more than that. Weird. Okay, well, I stand corrected then. I apologize, gang. I thought we were going to be making about $1 million from all that, and that was only about, I don't know, what was that? 300,000? 340,000? Man. Well, shit. Well, I'm glad we bought that. I'm glad we bought that field with all the trees on it, though. It's going to come in handy, especially here in January, since we have the best time to sell wood chips is right now. It's going to make us a lot of money. We've got a lot of clothes that are being stored right now. That's going to be the big money maker for us, is the clothes when that time comes. We're not anywhere near that yet. I think it's May. So we got a couple of months here, quite a few episodes really before we get to that point. We're not going to make $100 million either, are we? We're not going to make $100 million here. Not unless something changes here and I'm able to, start pumping through, doing some harvests here. We're not going to make that either. Well, shit. A valiant effort. And you're all right. All you said that it was unrealistic to begin with, that even attempting to try to get to that point with how much time was left, especially when I'm doing one episode a week for, I don't know how many months we did one episode a week for. It was a lot. So, yeah. Oh, well. We're still having fun, though, right? That's all that matters. We're still having fun. So I'm going to continue on here. I won't put a time lapse in just yet. I want to get the rest of this used up. I'm going to go a little bit untraditional here. I'm going to get all of this used up and expended so we can sell this and upgrade it to a better one that has a wider width and won't take as much time, especially since we have to do so many of them. Now, I could just utilize liquid fertilizer, but since we're making solid fertilizer, now granted we make a lot of money by selling it, but since we're making solid fertilizer basically for free, I'd rather just utilize that, I think. Now, I'm leaning towards, the only problem with it is that the storage isn't very good. I'm leaning towards the one that we've utilized a lot in previous playthroughs, the previous series. I guess some of them might not be previous series, since this one was one of the first ones I started. But it's that one that has a super wide spray width. It just doesn't have a big storage. That's the biggest problem. The storage is not where it needs to be at for how much we have to do here. Perhaps I can find something on ModHub that will increase the storage for that I can add, right? I don't know if there will be or not, but perhaps I can find something. Or we just have to go with a different path altogether. And those of you that are OG members that have been around for a while, you'll know which one I'm talking about. I've used it. You know which one I'm talking about. I love it. I talk about how much I love it all the time. Specifically, if I can pull it up quickly, I don't know if I'll be able to or not. This guy, but it only holds 1,300 liters. It's just not enough. You know what I mean? It's not enough. We're gonna be driving all over the place. So if we can find a way to increase it, maybe. But we've got to find something. And I don't know if the mods will work together either, right? They may not. So I'll have to do a little research and see what I can find, if anything, for that. So let me get the rest of this out. There's not much here. It shouldn't take me too long, but let me get the rest of this out, and then I'll go off camera and finish this, sell this, upgrade it, etc., and then we'll be back and we'll talk about what we're going to be doing. And how we're going to work it, regardless if it's just a new piece of equipment or if it's the one I just showed you with some kind of attachment on the front that expands the storage. Alright, so this is what we decided to go with. It's Kubota, unrealistic capacity, 10,000, so it's double what we had. It goes from 30, I think we are 38, or 36, right, to 42 meter width. I think that's the biggest one I can get unless I go on ModHub and find a super unrealistic one, so we're going to go with it. Now, just to kind of show you, this field is fully fertilized. We've got to fertilize this field, and this field. I may even waste a little bit and try to go around the outside edge of this one to get a little bit of a, extra bonus, I guess, for some of it. Since we're really not, spending a whole lot of money on it, because most of this was from the dryer, right? So, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up to max, though, while we're here. So, without further ado, let's get to work. Let's get these fields fertilized, huh? It's going to take a bit, but let's get them done. I probably should have made this path a little bit bigger. I'm kind of killing crop here, aren't I? Whoops. Maybe I should have went around the long way. Oh, well. Either way, we're going to get this going, and we'll get it done, and I'll be back with you shortly. Well, gang, I've really screwed up this episode, I guess. To take a couple of weeks off, and you forget everything you were supposed to be doing, I guess, off camera between the last episode of this one. So I apologize. Can't get that field over there done either, because that field is also too far along, and we had to put in some tracks if we wanted to, or some tram lines, I should say, if we wanted to fertilize that field fully, and I'm just going to not. So we did do a little bit of a fertilization to it, kind of, right? We kind of drove up that little drainage area, right? But it is what it is. What are you going to do? So I'm going to put this on a worker, let the worker do the rest of this field here. Hopefully the worker doesn't have any issues with the field, but you never know. You know the way these workers go. Who knows? And I think at this point, gang, we're probably going to leave the episode here at this point. It's pretty long already, this episode, getting up there, so we'll move on. We're going to do another episode in this month, at least. We might jump in the next episode from January to February in the middle. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes us. We're going to do those trees and probably buy that other field and harvest it, and we'll see what else we can get to, but we're gonna run that and see how it goes. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate the like button. More videos in the corners. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.